Before I let you go, Rab, I'd like to just talk to you about racing. As you can see behind me, we have one of your Derby, your successes on Derby final night, track record breaker, and obviously you had a nice run at Central Park as well on Sunday. So, what are the plans?
Well, Floyd, we were trying a few wee things out. Obviously, Havana Class, King Bruno, King Louis, they're heading up to Mormore as soon as I get back home. They're heading up for the 480 for the Gold Cup. I think the likes of King Bruno and that, I think they're tailor-made for it. And the wee blue dog that I ran on Sunday, we were trying some new one because we kept thinking, Floyd, every time I run the dog over 500 metres, I used to come straight on the phone to a boss and say to him, this dog's done nothing out of him. Nothing. I could tie this dog onto the front of the van and he would tow us home. He would pull us home. I says, it's done nothing out of him. Brendan kept saying, the dog will stay. But Floyd, I've seen it before. I've seen it with King Lennon, King Dylan and all the rest of it. Brendan said it was a bit different with this dog, that he thinks he will definitely stay. So we sat down and had a talk about it. He says, Rab, get him out on Sunday. Let's see if we can. Because my idea was we would go to Mormore with him and we'd go to the 3 Steps to Victory with him. I says, well, let's find out before we travel away up there. It's no worth giving you 4 or 5 hours travel. Let's find out if he could stay. And I couldn't be any happier with him, Floyd. I thought he ran a blinder on Sunday. I thought he'd done everything right. Banked the boxes. I never seen him flowing down at any part. I mean, Central Park's a very, very hard, stiff track to go and test the dog out. Everybody usually heads to Mormore, they can easier 6:30, which I think will suit him even better. You know what I mean? So he's definitely heading up to Mormore for the 6:30 race up there, the Classic. Mm-hmm. And I've just had a wee talk with Brendan there there after Monday had a wee talk with Brendan, and I'm actually thinking of setting Dolly up.
Yeah.
Queen Dolly, you know what I mean? So I'll maybe try her and the Blue Dog in the 6:30, and obviously I'll have the 3, maybe even a 4th runner in the Gold Cup, and we'll take our chance in there. But it's all roads heading to Mormore for this Gold Cup and this Classic Cup here. So I'm looking forward to it, Floyd. I thought I didn't know whether I was going to be stuck in the middle with the wee blue dog or could in between dog. You know what I mean? That's what you're always worried about these kind of things. Yeah, it's always in the back of your mind. A bit like King Lennon and King Dylan and that. Yeah, a bit couldn't really get the 6:30, but you were wanting. That's when you were looking for the whole 515, Floyd. You know what I mean? But they were experimenting with the 490s at that time, the 500s. But these dogs were looking for the 515 all the time, you know what I mean? So, but I was so happy with the way the Blue Dog run, the Warzone Tom Dog run. And you knew with the time he had done, I mean, you take him into Towster any time, 2 dog trial or whatever, where he could get room to run, Floyd, 29:20, 29:30 all the time. Yeah. So you're kind of thinking to yourself, well, if he does getting a 6:40, you're thinking to yourself, well, if this dog does his 29:20s or 29:30 runs, he's going to be well clear, you know what I mean? And listen, I couldn't ask the dog to do any more. And I think the Havana Class and the King Bruno dog, I think the 480 at Mormore will be right up their street. King Louis, he always gives us a good run. He ran exceptional in Sunday night, King Louis. I thought he walked back into his old haunt. You know what I mean? The dogs of mine were schooled there and that, and when they walked back into the place, they always find a new lease of life when they walk back in. It was like when I used to go to Wimbledon, Floyd, they find a new lease. They think they're back home, and he just came out and ran a proper blinder. Now, if you'd asked me, was the track 50 slow? It's no my decision to make these decisions, Floyd. I actually thought it was maybe 30 at the most slow, but even considering that, I would take that, you know what I mean, Floyd? But if they give it 50 slow, that's where we go with, you know what I mean? But listen, I'm pretty confident with the wee blue dog. I think Mormore will suit him right up to a T. I think it would suit Queen Dolly T. And I think one was a proper track for the likes of King Bruno and Havana Class and King Louis. I'm looking for a nice bit of fun up there.
Excellent. And I take it, obviously, so as we spoke before, there's nothing new coming through, no new dogs in the kennel or pups coming through?
Yeah. I got 3 deliveries last week, I think I did. I get 3 deliveries. Brendan bought a young pup. He's only a February. Two-leg Blaze. I think he's well bred. He's Ballymac Best and that. He looks a right nice dog. I love him to bits. I've only had him a week, and you'd think he's born and bred there. You know what I mean? So he's a nice wee young dog that I'm going to stay at. I'll be trialling in. I'll give him a few trials when I'm going about trialling these other dogs up to Mormore or whatever. I'll give him a couple of wee runs in that, Floyd. And we're all pal. Drew sent me over a couple of nice pups here, Havanas. He sent me over a couple of Havanas out of the Magical Bale and come out to play. The dog's a bit leggy, he looks big, he looks leggy, and the bitch, she looks nice, but she's just came in season, so we'll just give her a bit of time, Floyd. And we'll not allow her to go lazy or nothing like that, Floyd. You know what I mean? We'll keep her, because she's a young bitch, and we'll keep her on the move, and she'll be out trialling just shortly. You know what I mean? So I've got the 3 nice young dogs to look forward to. I've got a blue dog there. He looks as if he's going to be nice over the 6 bends, 630s, 660s or whatever. I mean, obviously, we'll have a look at more and more, and then it'll be straight to Sheffield for the 3 steps to victory, because he's got a nice bit of pace here for the 480, the 500 and the 660 up there. So it looks a kind of perfect dog for that 3 steps to victory. So, no, listen, I'm really, really excited with the few dogs that I've got. I've not got a lot of dogs in training just now, so I'm really looking forward to it, Floyd. And as I say, once you come up the road here and have 3 or 4 days rest, you're eager to get back. You know what I mean? You're eager to get back and get stuck back into it and try and hold your positions.
Well, let's hope Mullins isn't working the night shift to stop you getting back.
You know what he's like there. You know what he's like. But listen, I've never, you know, me and Big John and that, they're a good team as there, and we all have a good bit of fun, and we all have a good crack and all the rest of it. But Big John's the same. I mean, every time I talk to John, Towster this, Towster that, Towster's brilliant. He loves the place. He's fell in love with it. I think Big John has actually fell in love with the game again, Floyd. Do you know what I mean? And I think, and I don't just mean that, meaning Big John. I'm meaning a lot of trainers. It's actually gave them the buzz again. You know what I mean, Floyd? So I'm just hoping that, as I said in the last bit of interview, I'm just hoping that people see sense and everything comes together, and Big Kevin's given his wish that he gets it for the next 5 years or whatever he wants, and the big man's wanting to put a prize money up, he's wanting to add extras onto it. And I'm hoping next year he adds on maybe 2 or 3 straight races up the front straight to there, Floyd, that nice grassy bit that he's got. You know what I mean? I'm hoping they could add some things onto what he'd already done, and of course they will. You know it, and I know it. The big man, he's always thinking about things. You know what I mean? And I think, and he listens to people. So someday I'll bump into him. We'll sit down and have a bit of crack, and he'll take a few things on board, and he'll tell me to fuck off with the rest of it. You know, you know what he's like, Floyd. And listen, some of the ideas I come up with are crap, Floyd, but some of the ideas I can come up with, and it's just with natural talk, and it's sometimes you see them just putting ideas into their head, and they maybe take it that step further and make it better than what I've even come up with, you know what I mean? But listen, couldn't ask for anything better, Floyd, and I thought, I'll be true with you, Floyd, I know we keep going back to it, but when you're walking up that hill out towards the track and the sun's in the background there, I'm just picturing it in a new, Floyd, and all that, out of this world.
Yeah.
Out of this world, Floyd. Don't get me wrong, I just wish I could win that derby, but you never know, it might be round the corner.